My dear students, today I am going to teach you about absorption of water by the plants. Plant gets water and nutrients from the soil. All the cells of the plant need water and nutrient, so they need to be carried all over. Cell contain chlorophyll. In the leaves manufacture food, which is carried to other part of the plant. How do all this take place? The answer is transport system of the plant. Plants such as pine, coconut, neem, rose, grass have elaborate transport system that carries water and minerals, and along with that it also carry food. Now as you can see in this diagram, water is absorbed by the root and then water travels through plant, and then after that when the water reaches the leaves of the plant, it gets evaporated from the leaf. Now, before proceeding further, first let us understand the morphology of the root system. What is morphology? Morphology is the study of external feature of plant, arrangement, relationship of organs. Now, if you take a plant, the part of the plant which is below the ground is known as root system, and the part of the plant which is above the ground is known as shoot system. Now root system consists of lateral root and primary root, whereas the shoot system, it consists of node, internode, stem, leaf, apical bud, axillary bud, and so on. Plants have vegetative and reproductive organs as well. Now let us study about root. Now if you can see in this diagram, the root has got basically three parts: primary root, secondary root, and tertiary root. Secondary and tertiary root are also known as lateral root. And at the base of the root you can see fine hair-like structure which is known as root hair, and the tip of the root is called root tip. Plants absorb water and minerals from the soil. They do this with the help of root hair present on the root. Now what is root hair? Root hair cells are unicellular thin-walled outgrowth of the epidermis, which is the outermost layer of the root. They greatly increase the surface area for absorption of water and nutrients from the soil. Root hair cells are large in number but short-lived. They are continuously replaced by new cells that are formed near the root tip. Soil particles are coated with a thin film of water that has mineral dissolved in it. The root hair cells are in close contact with water surrounding the soil particle. I hope you have understood the structure and the function of root hair. Now let us come back to the topic. We are studying about absorption of water by the plant. Now it occurs due to the movement of the molecule occur by three methods. So the movement of molecules are seen by the three phenomena: osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. Now we'll study about each one of them today. Now what is osmosis? Osmosis is a passive process that happens without any expenditure of energy. Water is absorbed by the root hair cell by the process of osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water through semi-permeable membrane from an area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration. Now you must be thinking, what is semi-permeable membrane? I'll tell you that. A semi-permeable membrane is a thin membrane that allows the movement of selected molecules through it. For example, water molecule can pass through the membrane, but it prevents the movement of solute particles like salt and sugar. Cellophane paper and egg membrane are an example of semi-permeable membrane. Now, what happens in osmosis? The concentration of water molecules in the soil is usually high. Then it is inside the root hair. This causes osmosis to occur, and so water is absorbed by the root hair cell from outside. Once water is absorbed, its concentration in the root hair cell becomes more than the adjacent cell of the inner tissue. Thus, water molecules move through osmosis from root hair cell to the neighboring cell. Okay, I hope osmosis is clear. Now the next thing that I'm going to explain you is diffusion. Now most minerals needed by the plant are dissolved in the water in the soil. Some of these are calcium, potassium, magnesium and nitrogen. The absorption of these minerals by the root takes place by two processes. The first one is diffusion and the second one is active transport. Now let's take up diffusion first. What is diffusion? Diffusion is a process of movement of molecules under concentration gradient. It is an important process occurring in all living things. Diffusion helps in the movement of substance in and out of the cell. The molecule moves from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration until the concentration becomes equal throughout. Now, sometimes the concentration of mineral molecule is higher in the soil than inside the root hair. This is when the root hair cell absorbs mineral by diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of salt or mineral molecule from the region of high concentration to the region of lower concentration. Now next is active transport. Now what is active transport? Active transport is the movement of molecule across the cell membrane from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration against the concentration gradient. Active transport requires cellular energy to achieve this movement. There are two types of active transport. Primary active transport that uses adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP, and secondary active transport that uses electrochemical gradient. Now normally mineral molecules are more concentrated inside the root hair cell than in the soil outside. Still, root hair cell absorb them. For this, they use the process of active transport. The movement of mineral ion from the region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration is called active transport. Now, active transport involves the use of ATP. Actually, active transport is the opposite of diffusion. So, I hope you all have understood the three processes: osmosis, diffusion, and active transport. Now, if you like my video, do subscribe, share, and hit the bell icon. And if you want to if you want me to teach you any other topic, please feel free to comment. I'll be happy. Thank you so much.